Hi guys, welcome. Nice to see your faces. So yeah, we just wanted to catch up, Nathan, see what you've been up to since lockdown. Obviously, it's been very, very different all around the world. So we're doing these sort of short episodes, what we're going to name Lockdown Diaries, where we catch up with people in different circumstances who've been in different parts of the world. So you were in Kuwait preparing for a show just before this happened, weren't you? Do you want to just talk us through that?
Yeah, as you guys know, I'm a pro bodybuilder. Basically, doing preparation in Kuwait, sponsored by Oxygen Gym and Mr. Badabade. So I was preparing for the Arnold Classic Australia before this whole crazy pandemic happened. Basically, then Kuwait was the first country in the world to go on a lockdown. Basically, no flights in and out.
Yeah.
I caught the last flight out of Kuwait on Thursday. To go straight from Kuwait to Dubai because Dubai hadn't closed the borders down or the airports. And then I'm supposed to fly to Australia on the Monday morning. And then Dubai basically shut down their airport on the Sunday. And then the show got cancelled Sunday night. So then I made the last flight to England from Dubai. And now I'm just stuck in here. But the weather's good, so I can't really complain too much.
So, do you know, lockdown, we're hearing stories about how different countries have approached it. You said about Dubai was the first place to go down on lockdown, or Kuwait was, sorry. So yeah, what does that mean there? Is that like, was there army on the streets and that?
No, well, obviously there's army now. They've got army on the streets now. And as of, I think it was last week, they're into 24/7, 24-hour full lockdown. But basically, every expat or everyone who was working there, we're told, you either catch a flight now or you aren't going nowhere. Basically, you're not going nowhere. And, the guy who I knew, basically all the flights were full. But I was with this, different rules, different countries have different rules, basically. And I was lucky enough, me and a friend, to get put on a flight to Dubai. The flight was overcrowded, but, it was rampacked. But we got on it. So, I was a bit in the air of what to do. My coach couldn't get on the flight because if he got on the flight, then obviously he couldn't get back home to Kuwait. They weren't allowing no flights whatsoever in other country. And to me, it was a bit bizarre because, no one knew of the whole corona thing. We had all China going on lockdown, but, we're different parts of the world. We thought, it wouldn't affect us, but basically it affected everyone. And we just kind of basically just stuck to where to ourselves. They'll go home, they'll go here, they'll go there, and ended up in Dubai. Was there for 4 days, and it was just a total nightmare. And then they were all scared of what to do and where to go, and no one knew what they were doing. To be honest,
I reckon long haul air travel must be super uncomfortable for you as well, unless you're business.
Unfortunately, every contract to make sure I put business class.
That's right.
My fat black ass can't go into economy.
Yeah, I mean, so when you got the flight home then, Nathan, were they giving out masks and that at that time, or?
No, mate, I've seen, I've seen a lot of people in the airport in Kuwait, they were all wearing masks. In Dubai, they were all wearing masks. To me, there was a few people giving them to expats, but I didn't wear them. I know it's saving lives. I just don't believe in it. That's my personal opinion. I'm not for all the masks and all the gloves. I just live in life like normal. My thought of it is, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. If it's your time, it's your time. That's just my approach on life, my personal opinion. People walking around in masks. I thought it was funny. I put a post on Facebook and Instagram. I said to myself before the whole pandemic went crazy, I thought the only time a black lad can wear a fucking balaclava and not get stopped in the streets. You know what I mean? Force yourself. Whenever I see female there wearing a mask, you're getting pulled. But I just making a joke out of it.
Yeah.
But now it's affecting everyone. You gotta respect everyone's views and everyone's personal opinions. But I think in the Middle East they weren't too phased about it. Their health system as well is not the greatest, to be honest. and they weren't too phased. I think now, they're affected more by it, because from my friends who are stuck over there in Kuwait, they said that the death rate has just gone through the roof. Like,
really, wow. Yeah, I think it's one of them things where it caught us all off guard, and that's why I think there's rightly a lot of criticism for the government and that now, but at the same time, everyone's a genius with hindsight. So I agree with most of it, but not all of it. All the criticism, that is. I just think this is one of them things that just comes along, and we've all just got to try and make best out of it. You put a great post on Instagram the other day, Nathan, about saying people are moaning and stuff, but actually now a lot of people who are busy, probably like yourself, like you, Greg, as well. Where you've got time to do things that you just didn't have before.
Yeah, I'm learning more to use a computer. I'm not the most sophisticated person on that. I'm learning a few things, and I think even though I'm not one for the whole pandemic, I think it's good for the world. You look at the sky, look at the country, look at the ocean. It's massively impacted everything. Every like Venice, the rivers are lovely and blue, and I think it's helping the environment a lot in that aspect. And I could see the reason why for it. And I think maybe if the world is every 100 years or so, predict this to happen, and go against it. I think economy wise and global warming, it could do a lot of great.
I reckon there are positives, and I agree with Nathan there in terms of like for the environment and just for maybe people's pace of life. And if there can be a reset, then it's good. But I always feel and I genuinely think that sometimes, and then I catch myself and think, yeah, but that's all right for me to say because I haven't lost anyone. And when the people are still dying at the rate they're dying in this city and elsewhere, I suppose they wouldn't have the luxury of thinking like that. But that's not to say that's not a valid observation for us. Thank God, touch wood, we haven't. Do you know what I mean? But I think without a doubt, people are going to come out of this with a different perspective on life, and that can't necessarily be a bad thing, can it?
Yeah, I think what Nathan's post was alluding to as well is that like you can it's going to expose this is going to expose you for who you really are. So the good people are doing wonderful things, the bad people are doing things like profiteering. But if you can come out of it, if you have the right attitude, if you can come out of it a better version of yourself, then you've won, haven't you? You know what I mean? You've made your glasses are full, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. You see a lot of people are basically benefiting from this. And I hope that the smaller businesses benefit from it. Like myself and local businesses, and then these big corporate things do shut down, because at the end of the day, it's if we go back to years ago, it was all community oriented. You know what I mean? And everyone knew everyone. And also, when was the last time in our generation we knew our neighbours? Not many did. And we can look over even though social distancing, we can look over our back garden walls or our fences and talk to our neighbours because we're isolated. We can get to know people around us, and I think in that aspect, I'm the same. I know my neighbours a lot more than what I did 7 to 8 weeks ago, and for that I'm grateful, because normally, hi, you're okay, good morning, bye. Now you're having more conversations and seeing how they're feeling, what they're up to, because who else can you talk to face to face? We need that interaction. It's good having FaceTime and stuff and Zoom and whatnot, but we need, as human beings, we need that physical interaction.
Yeah, it's not the same on video, is it? But you're right what you say about harking back to old times, because I've seen that there's some places, I think it was a couple of countries in Africa, obviously people haven't got money because they can't work at the moment, so places where there's a lot of cash and they're not able to get benefits or whatever, the people are bartering. So like a farmer who's got like chickens is going, well, I'll give you 2 chickens if you fix my drainage or whatever, which is what people used to do years ago, and that community sense is great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Basically, everyone at the moment you can see everyone helping everyone, and that's the main thing. And to me, life hasn't really changed much for myself, because all I do is just eat, sleep, and train anyway. But for everyone else around me, I can see how it's affecting them, and even so, for it's good for positive and negatives. For mental health reasons, it's not good, because I believe people who suffer mental health right now, it's they're going through a very, very hard time, like I said before, and that interaction they haven't got, which they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think some things need to be set up for them people. You know, and I understand I understand the distancing thing, but at the same time, we need something for people who are struggling. You know, it's good to talk to someone on a phone call. It's okay for the government to say that, but you know, we need to have like practitioners open where we can go and talk to someone, whether it's behind glass or some type of PVC, so where we to then people who are suffering, because not everyone has a family. You know what I mean? And not everyone has someone, but they need that one person just to talk to. And I think we need to set up some type of thing for them. You know.
You're absolutely spot on, Nathan. I think it's all right if you live with someone, you live with your partner or whatever. I feel sorry for people I know, Greg, you're living on your own, but I feel sorry for people in the likes of London, in very crowded spaces, 1-bedroom flats. You know, it must be awful, because we're made to interact with each other. We're very social creatures, aren't we?
Yeah, that could have come down to. Go on, Greg.
No, sorry, mate. I was just going to say it's kind of like it's talking about changing your perception of stuff. I always, you always do say, I feel sorry for older people who live alone, especially widowed people, what have you. But this has made it now, like, hopefully for me, a really definitive way of I'll try and help in future with kind of help the aged or people who are reaching out to people who live on their own, because this sadly is similar to what their life might be like all the time, pandemic or no pandemic.
Yeah.
And what Nathan was saying then about finding creative ways of helping people to connect, even if it is like what he was saying, like confession in a church or something, there's a little bit of a safety barrier, but they're still able to see someone, to speak to them face to face. You just can't put a price on that, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nathan, obviously you were prepping for a show. You were going to compete. It was a big show, the Arnold Classic Australia. So what have you been up to then? Have you got home and thought, well, this is going to go on for a while, I'll just drop everything, or have you been staying in shape, and what have you been doing to keep fit physically and mentally?
For me, I'm fortunate. I own my own gym, so obviously everyone takes the 30-minute walk. I just go to my gym and just do what I do best, and that's taking my aggression out in the gym. Okay, it's different because I'm by myself, but I've still got that pair to do that. But I'm basically under contract to where I've got to do certain social media stuff. I've got to do this and that and certain posts. So I'm still under contract with a lot of things. But everything has changed to where my friends are all. Some of them are working, some of them are builders, so they're out working, and because I've got 2 children, they're scared to come around, and it's just hard, even with the show, that hit me financially massively, because that was a big show to where I was one of the favourites to win it. So I've just basically put all my efforts into the gym. We're doing a big, huge revamp. Because at the end of the day, I see that people are going to need somewhere to be after this pandemic, whether that's fitness or whether that's just another meditation. So we're just basically, redefining what we've got now, and I'm putting all my energy into the gym. We've got builders there as we speak, and just transforming it. It's just keeping me occupied in that aspect and give me something to go forth. But I can see from the guys who are working, they're suffering because they're self-employed. They're having to work, and they're all living together in certain confinements and not seeing the family. And speaking to them, I can see them suffering because they're like, they've got kids themselves. But at the end of the day, is that they need the income. Without an income, how's their family going to survive? How are they going to pay their bills? Because we're told you can have a mortgage frozen for 3 months, but who to say it's going to go for 4, 5, 6 months? So everyone's out there in different circumstances. But we just got to do the best that we can do, I think.
Do you normally train on your own, or do you train in a busy gym with training partners and help you to push through difficult sessions and stuff?
Greg, there's normally 3 of us, 3 or 4 guys at any one given time. But we're basically at it. 5, 6 days a week, basically. I've got the guy who works in my gym. You know, he pops in on certain sessions to basically just for safety to help me, whether I'm doing squats or on chest, just so I don't injure myself.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have him there. It's just different, and obviously, I was prepping for, like I said, the Arnold, and now we've got the Mr. Olympia, which is supposed to happen in Vegas in September, but we're told now that this is postponed till December. And even then, how are they gonna, all the revenue from that? How, it's basically door receipts. So without door receipts, how's that gonna go ahead? How sponsors gonna sponsor that show? And if me as an athlete, if my sponsor can't attend that show, how would I get paid? So right now it's kind of up in all what's what really.
I think though bodybuilding though, in terms of sport, if you look at like all the sports that are largely spectator sports, football, rugby, all that type of stuff, surely if the people who are organising these shows, the people in the power seats, if you like, if they thought about it right and they sorted technology out and stuff, bodybuilding should be one of the first things that can come back, because the spectators don't necessarily need to be there. You could perform on stage. There's a live stream. The cameras and that are good enough these days, and people could pay to watch it.
Mate, that's ideally, that's the scenario we should be at. I think the guys in power are old school. They want door receipts. Think about it. Not everyone can afford to go to Mr. Olympia in Vegas, right? So that's, especially right now, for the next 18 months, 2 years, everyone's affected by this. So, let's say it's, £800-900 flights to Las Vegas, and it's a £500 hotel. Then it's a £400 to get into the show. Yeah. And, you get 10, 20,000 there at any one time. If you were to put it on, if you were to put your hand in your pocket, do 60, 70,000 pound websites, you own the show, you own the rights to the show. Get good cameras on there, and you charge someone $5.99 or in there, because it's an American $5. You were to get 500,000 people, you're making more money just off streaming than you are, at gate receipts. Okay, and then I understand the aspect of of the expos and stuff, but if you're going to attend a show, you're going to attend no matter what anyway. Okay, like, not everyone's going to attend Mr. Olympia, but people will want to watch it. They want, oh, what's that? It's only $5. I'll give it a quick go. You're not asking. It's like if you watch something on Sky and it's only $5. Oh, if it's shit, I'll just turn it off. You know what I mean? But then you still paid your money, and that's what they're not seeing. They're not seeing that aspect, and I think they have a new owner now, and hopefully they will see that. Even in regards to the show always being in Vegas, in America, I think, my opinion, out of the top 15 athletes in the world, myself included, 12 of them are from Europe. So why don't you put the show around the world and let everyone else see it? Yeah. But that's for them. That's for the powers that be to decide. And who am I to say? It's, as a business aspect, it's a lot smarter, like you said, to stream it and even to travel it.
Yeah, spot on. I think I personally would love the chance to go and see it, because people always say, I'm a big fan of bodybuilding, and I think you look at these things and you think, oh, I'd love to go to that, but just to go to Vegas just to see a show would just be ridiculous. But you could get a lot of new fans who pay a $5 or pay $4.50 or whatever, watch it, and then think, do you know what? I want to see these huge guys in person.
They're just not on. I don't think there's two sets in the ways, if that makes sense, and social media and advertising and online is the modern era. It's like you watch football now and everything's streamed. You can watch La Liga. Everything is streamed nowadays, and I think their aspect is, we stream it, we can lose money. Okay, no matter what, you can lose money anyway. People can record live on the phone or come with the camera and do it. They just need to change the ways. Yeah. And now, this being said, this lockdown might basically help all sports, to see that, because a lot of sports that sort of being told will be behind closed doors. Even the Premier League, they've got the rights to Sky, so that doesn't affect them. But other sports in general, you know, UFC, all this stuff then do their own channels, their own platforms. It then sets them up to realise, look, well, you know, why should we pay someone to stream our stuff when we can do it ourselves? You know, you get more revenue and more income that way. So hopefully, you know, within bodybuilding, they see that, and we can just change it. Because for the likes of me and a lot of the guys out there, you know, we love the sport. It's our jobs, but you know, we're doing this, you know, sacrificing our lives and putting, you know, our lives on the line, and we're dying for so long, and we want everyone to see what we can do, and not everyone can. You know, where people want to look at it and think, that's not for me, that is for me. I think everyone has the right to see whatever they want to see, rather than have to travel the world. Because people might just be at home, just stuck at home, can't afford it, even can't get in the flights, but it might entertain them. It's all about modern age, isn't it?
I think you're spot on, and also you need, like you mentioned, the UFC. You need an innovator at the very top, and hopefully, like you say, there's a new guy in town there. But you need a Dana White, someone who can see the potential in a sport like he did with UFC, and transform it and give him his due. You know, like him or loathe him, he's absolutely transformed mixed martial arts into a multi-billion-dollar global industry. And if you look at the comparisons, you know, a lot more people have been in a gym than have been in a fight. So training is relatable to everyone, you know, men, women all around the world. Why can't bodybuilding? And I don't watch it like Adam, and I don't know as much about it by any means, but why can't it have that global pull?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I try to explain to some people all the time, bodybuilding mightn't be for you, you know, it mightn't be for everyone, which is not, which, you know, that's why they have so many categories nowadays, you know, big lads, average guys, beach bodies, and females, and just normal girls in bikinis with a bum and, you know, a pair of breasts. They have everything for everyone. At the end of the day is that, like you said, everyone does train nowadays. You know, fitness is a massive, massive thing worldwide. And whether you like the gym or not, a lot of people who can afford it have PTs. And these PTs look up to guys like myself. So whether you're into bodybuilding or not, whoever's training you looks up to someone like me. So it all streams down. And that's why, you know, even like a lot of the sponsors are basically saying, let's stream it, let's do this. Because if you're getting streamed, if you're getting trained by Joe Blogs, you know, if he says, oh yeah, you know, let's just go and buy this protein powder because this will help you, you'll then go out and buy that, to where he's probably listening to someone like me who's promoting something. So, you know, so from being some big meathead in the gym, it's streaming down to households worldwide. So end of the day is that everyone can talk about it and relate to it. But they're just, like they said before, we need someone like Dana White who's basically willing to take a chance at something and promote something. And hopefully, you know, like a lot of guys and girls now who are doing it are young. You know, we're trying to push that and promote it more and more, because okay, you see us in, you know, topless, and you think, oh, he's a meathead or whatever, but in clothes, we just look like the average Joe. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're a little bit fatter and rounder faces, as you can tell. But that's all it is. It's just down to basically more marketing skills, I think.
Yeah. I think, Nathan, like, it must be funny, it must be a bit weird at the times being Nathan De Asha, because in the bodybuilding world, which is kind of a little bit cult-like, you know, I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of yours and a lot of your co-competitors. You know, I've met people like Jay Cutler, William Bonac in protein stores and stuff like that. So in this bubble, you're like super famous, and everyone's like, "Fucking hell, that's Nathan De Asha." But then actually, if you're not in that bubble, you're just a big fella walking down the street.
What it is, mate, it's like the lads say all the time, like you know, like in the Middle East, bodybuilding is it's a national sport. In Dubai, it's a national sport. Like in Egypt and stuff, like if over here, if you win the Mr. Britain, you get a pro card, for example. In Egypt, you win their championships, the government buy you a house and give it a hell of a lot of money. So it's that big over there. And you know, to the lads in the gym and to everyone else around here, I'm just Nathan De Asha, just one of the boys, and that's all I want to be known as. That's all. That's it. You know what I mean? I just like eating and like saying it, and that's it. But then when you go to like Dubai, Kuwait, America, people then see who you are. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, fucking hell, it's Nathan. Can I have a picture? Can I have this? Can you sign this? And to me, I'm just flabbergasted. I'm just a normal kid who just goes to the gym. You know what I mean? Bit of a belly, bit of a fat head and that. And that's it. But people out there in the other parts of the world, because bodybuilding, obviously, you know, I think the media over here don't like, you know, they frown upon bigger people. May that be said, you know, like, because a lot of our culture in the UK is more slimmer guys, more football, you know, and in America they're into big lads, as you can see, the NFL and even the fighters, they're all big, chunky kids. Like in the Middle East, because it's too hot to play football, they don't do that, and it's too hot to do any sport, so it's a lot of gym oriented. You know what I mean? So out there, mate, you know, you go out there, you're getting things thrown at you. Partly the reason why, you know, I chose to go to Kuwait and Dubai and stuff, because for me, life's a lot easier. You know, it's based around gym. I have no distractions. I haven't got a party 24/7 with the lads. It's just gym, and that's allowed me to focus and be a better person. You know, obviously, like I said before, I have the perks and stuff of being Nathan De Asha. Then when I come back over here, I'm just Nathan, just a normal one of the lads, just a strong kid. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of bodybuilders over here, because over here we're not recognised. We're just meatheads. That's what we are. Do you know what I mean? Or just gym heads. But out, like I said before, in the wider world, mate, it's something different. So it's a change. It's hard to compensate when you're going from one to another. Do you know what I mean? Like, who are you and what you do? Because, you know, you walk around Whole Foods in the US, mates, and people are like, oh, you know, are you that kid that does the bodybuilding? Are you him? Like, yeah. And like, oh yeah, my son follows you. Or if you're in Kuwait and in the mall and someone's dad asks you for a picture, or like he FaceTimes for the son. It's mad, you know what I mean?
Mm. Nathan, have you got, like, obviously with the demands of the sport, it's probably not practical for you now, but have you got like an idea in the future of getting an agent and doing like film and TV work? And because obviously for a casting agent, you've got such an individual look, haven't you? Like the guy who was in Game of Thrones, for example, you know, you could, yeah. You'd imagine you could actually be quite successful down that road.
Well, I was looking to do you know, basically vocational lessons, you know, and change my accent, because end of the day, mate, if you're not Scouse or from the north part of the world, you're not going to understand the word us three are saying, let's be honest. You know what I mean? So if I'm doing an interview in America, you know, I'm having to talk like this and be a lot more presentable and a lot more slower like this, you know. But to us, I'm just talk normal. So I was taking a few lessons and stuff, and people say, you know, your look's different, because to everyone else, a lot of bodybuilders are normally big skinheads, you know, and a lot more chunky than myself. Even though, you know, I'm classed as one of the best in the world, I haven't got that typical big look, you know. In clothes, I can kind of get away with it, just being okay. He's a big kid, you know. And my look's different, to where I don't go for the stereotypical short hair and basic look. So I was hoping to go down that road, because I know the career of bodybuilding doesn't last long. Excuse me. And I have I have my goals that I want to reach, and I hope to retire from the sport within the next 6 years. You know, and that's just my personal goal. I don't want to be having to work as hard as I do now in my 40s. I know a lot of guys do it when they are over 40, but, you know, I see my son, he plays football now, he's quite good. So I want to be that dad at 40 who can run round the park, you can do a 5-mile run, rather than being gassed in the back garden after 20 minutes, trying to, you know, at 22 and a half stone, it's quite heavy trying to run around the park after a 6-year-old, you know what I mean?
I can imagine it takes a toll a lot, and a lot of people who are outside of the bodybuilding world won't realise. But one of your co-competitors, Luke Sandoe, passed away this week. Did you know him well, Nathan? And when something like that happens, do you sort of take a step back, thinking, like, do you ask yourself questions about how long you want to continue for?
Yeah, man. God rest his soul, man. Luke was a good kid, you know. He wasn't. We're only young in the sport. People think, because, you know, we're 30. 30 is a young age. People say that your body can't grow past late 30s, and that's a lie, because you're in your prime, late 30s, early 40s. And, you know, like I said, I knew Luke well. We had this rivalry. You know, people thought on social media we hate each other. when in aspect we didn't. It's like, you have Phil Heath and Kai Green. You always have that rivalry, and that's motivating. It's like Messi and Ronaldo. These guys
It's healthy,
hate each
isn't
other.
it? It's healthy for the
Yeah,
sport,
it's
isn't it?
healthy. And Luke made me a way better athlete than I ever would have been, and that's the God's honest truth, because I knew he was basically up my ass to be on my level. I knew that every time I was in the gym for years and years, I thought of someone else, and then Luke came up. Every time I was in the gym, I had his face in my head. You know what I mean? And I made sure that I thought to myself, this little fucker's not catching me, mate. And every rep I was doing, I was doing it just to beat him. And seeing him take his own life, God rest his soul. He had a lot of stuff going on. He knows he needed to rest. And looking back at that he had 2 kids. That makes me then sit back and think to myself, what is it I want? What is it I do want out of life? And like people say to me all the time, it was either me or Luke to be the next Mr. Olympia for a long time. And I look at myself and think, I'm just from Toxteth, mate. I'm just a normal kid, just from council background. That's all I'm from. I don't believe in nothing else. And to me, to where I'm at now, I'm successful in life, and just to be here, I'm successful rather than be in jail. So my outlook on everything right now is just basically just do as much as I can and get as much in for my kids, financially as possible. Whether that means going from sponsor to sponsor or traveling the world and not seeing my kids like I do for months and months at a time. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I'm out there just doing everything that I can, like Luke did, and just for our families, mate. And that's it. And like I said, to my son, I can't run around the park now, and that's because I physically can't do it. And I can't go to football games on a Sunday because I have to train, I have to eat. And I said, when he's 13, that'll be over, because I do plan on retiring at 40 for health reasons. And everyone knows what this sport takes without me having to entail. It's suffering, it's hard on the body. It is, mate. Your joints and everything, it's tiring. But sport gives people like myself, man, a way out, and that's what it's done. And I've got to be grateful of that right now, and I've got to run with it for as long as possible. As long as my body's basically saying you can go with it, I'm just going with it, because right now, for back plan, I've got my gym, I've got other businesses and stuff, but I've just got to just keep doing what I'm good at. Bodybuilding was something I just stumbled on, and same with Luke. I was playing football, and Luke was a drummer. We just stumbled on it genetically. He was a drummer for most of his life, and we just stumbled on it because we just genetically gifted, and that's I'm grateful for that. And I'm guessing Luke was at the same time, because it put money in our back pockets to put a roof over our head. And I don't, I love bodybuilding. I don't love being on stage. I don't. Whoever, I'm up front and I'm funny and I'm loud and I'm a little bit arrogant here and there with my mates and stuff. I hate being on stage, because someone's there judging me. I'm in a G-string basically, you know what I mean? And someone's there judging me on how I look. I could be the best I could ever be, and someone's judging me on how I look, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not confident in that, and you have a lot of these guys dancing. I'm as stiff as a robot, mate. You know what I mean? I'm from Liverpool. All we do is just rave. We're not here doing all this beatbox and stuff. We're just out in the club raving hard. And so, I get shy. I'm nervous. That's why I don't do a lot of guest poses, because being on stage by myself is nervous. Being back with other guys, I can kind of rival with them and fight with them and stuff. But it's just, like I said before, I'm just fortunate to be in this position right now, and put money in my back pocket and try and succeed in life, basically.
Amazing. It just shows as well, like you touched on there with regard to Luke. It shows how fragile people are, and I guess that somebody who was able to put all his efforts into bodybuilding, and obviously that was taken away unexpectedly, like a lot of things have been taken away through this. And we are very, very fragile. It's important to try and just keep your mind occupied, isn't it, while you're locked between these four walls?
Yeah, mate. Of course, people think we're so big, you know, we're all with hard knocks and all, you know, with this and that. But cut us open, mate. I'm the same as you. I bleed the same as you. My mind is the same as yours. What upsets you will upset me, and that's just the way we are. You know, we've just got more muscle mass than you. That's it. We're the same type of person, and people don't understand that. And I think, you know, a lot of times, even myself, makes people affect what they say on Instagram and social media. You know, you love me or hate me. That's cool. But some things you do say will hurt. Do you know what I mean? And same with Luke. And a lot of the guys, you know, we can't get into a battle or a debate with you because of the position of what we're in and what we're obliged to say. You know, to where people might say, but you wouldn't say it in the street. Do you know what I mean? But it's here for me. And then people, I don't know for Luke, but even for myself, people DM you all the time or put nasty things on it, whether it's racial or whether it's about your family. It's not nice. Do you know what I mean? And I think that aspect of Instagram and being on social media, it affects people, like I said before, in people's minds. And you know, Luke has his own demons, and people putting things on there or saying other things. You know, it isn't nice, mate. And I think people need to take a step back and realize what they say it affects people. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't fucking say it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, give someone. You know, if you say, "Oh, look, mate, your haircut's a bit bad there, lad." Say it in a certain way to where you're not, you know, you're telling someone something, but you're not physically attacking them or offending them. You know what I mean? And like in our sport, mates, we get a lot of the time, "Oh, you're just taking this, you're just doing that." What you don't understand is that we're doing this to provide and put a living, put food on our table. Same way person's going to work 9 to 5. This job we do, mate, does not just entail doing certain things. We have to live this 24 hours a day, and we like a lot of athletes, mate, whether it's football, bodybuilding, cycling. As an athlete, mate, or someone, you're sacrificing your life every single day, you know, because you're losing, we're losing family ties to where, you know, we're you know, like footballers and myself having to travel the world on our kids' birthdays. We're missing a lot of things out because doing something that we love, and we love it because it puts food on our table. We love it because people like to see us and it motivates them. So we're affecting everyone, but at the same time, we're losing a bit of ourselves all the time. And I don't think people understand that. And, you know, a lot of media outlets are always pumping things on there negatively. But even more so in our sport, I think it's a lot of negative, you know, all the time. You wouldn't see a lot of negative about Ronaldo or Messi or something like this, but in our sport, because of what it is, and we look different, it's always negative outputs, you know what I mean? And I think that perspective on life needs to be changed because we are athletes, and, you know, we, like I said, we do get affected the same as everyone else.
Really interesting. I hadn't thought of it like that. That it does almost speak to like a cultural difference in that what you were saying earlier, because generally a lot of Europeans are quite, let's say, slimish, and don't stand out as much as a lot of Americans, you know, North Americans, and maybe people do judge the sport and judge you and your competitors and fellow athletes because you're so physically striking, and there's like a negative judgment sort of circle that goes with that. Whereas in the States and the UAE, as you say, it's different. But I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah, people just, human nature looks to what's similar, don't they? Yeah. And they want to look at things that are similar. And footballers, albeit they're brilliant athletes, kind of look similar, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Whereas you guys look like sometimes that when you're on stage from a different planet, it's like, how is a human being in that sort of condition? It's mind blowing. And some people can't deal with that, and then it turns to negativity, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. It's like, you know, everyone knows what goes behind to do the sport. Like I said before, I'm able to say. What you don't realise, mate, to be the best of the best, you know, people push the barriers. And that being said, mate, whether it's, I don't care what sport you're in, I've got friends, you know, who do well in a lot of sports, and they push the barriers, mate. You know, and it's just that we look different, and it's spoken about a lot more in our sport than in other sports. You know, you're like Lance Armstrong, mate. Whether or not you like him or hate him, he was the best cyclist at the time. You know, and you think he was the only person to push the envelope? No, do you know what I mean? And you know, people want to see the best of the best. You know, if you put 20 lads on a running track and they all ran, you would, if someone done 100 meters under 9 seconds, you would not be asked. You'd be like, fuck me, do you know what I mean? But then if that person told you what they have to do to get that, you'd be like, but because we tell you, you know, and we look differently, I can reassure you, like, what we do is not a lot different than what other athletes do, and we just look a hell of a lot different, and you know, that's it. It's just a looks thing to where, you know, it's like you look at NFL. You think these guys who are 260, 270 pounds, you know, naturally can just run under 10 seconds. You know what I mean? You know, and the tearing ACLs and the recovering, and you know, in a few weeks.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that we just look different. We put our bodies through a different type of stress, and to get in that shape, all we're doing, mate, is basically on a calorie deficit. We're eating a lot of protein in the off season to get bigger, building restore muscle, and then we're basically just starving ourselves of fats to lose every bit of fat on us. That's all we do. It's just basically starvation, really. You know, like I said before, relate back to go to Africa. You see them kids, because they're starved, but they're still physically shredded. You know what I mean? We've all got muscle mass, but obviously, again, it's a hell of a lot different. Do you know what I mean? And that being said, I don't think, like I said before, relating back to Luke and people, you know, before, we shouldn't judge, because we are all the same. You know, we all look different, obviously, yeah, but inside they're all the same.
Absolutely spot on, Nathan. Listen, keep motivating, stay safe. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been amazing catching up with you. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you soon, buddy. Take care, man.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, lads.